This is a little film of a normal day in the life of our tiny house. It looks quite idyllic in the sunshine, but this morning was quite cold. There's always a mix of areas that we keep tidy and areas that look messy. Badger's kennel here is certainly not his favourite place, and he's only forced in it when it's really wet and we can't have him in the house. Next to it, a huge log pile that I'm yet to chainsaw and split up. I've been meaning to do it for a long time. Some logs cut, ready to split, and they then eventually end up in the log shed itself. Half of the log shed is seasoned and half is not. Inevitably with our house, we started off building everything as perfectly as we could with the actual house. Then I built a shed that was satisfactorily built. But as time moved on, things like the log shed were just put up as quickly and efficiently as possible with reusing whatever materials we had to hand.
Let's give him a quick brush as well.
Badger's the most long-suffering of us all. Theo, as a young child, would hold on to the back of him as he ran around whilst she shrieked with joy. Now he mostly has to endure her strict commands that he takes no notice of.
Okay.
One of the great delights in our life is that our shed now has a couple of 8-foot long shelves in it. This took like me maybe an hour and a half to put up after 3 years of living here, and it's given us huge amounts more storage. Should have done it at the start, but there's lots of other things we were doing. Our veggie plot is always a mix of things ready to be removed and things growing and things ready to be harvested. Our corn on the cob has no cobs left, needs pulling out.
I just pulled them off.
Just pulled off. The sticks has sort of remnants of some mange too that grew on them. I think we're a bit fed up with chard, so we haven't been eating so much of that. And the leeks are still growing, and there's an odd strawberry at the back there. Thea, does Badger have to have the bungee on his head?
Yes, he does.
What's that for? Does it keep him happy?
Here. Sit down, sit. Come on, sit down.
I don't want him to sit. I'm brushing his bottom.
At the back of the house is where we grow our raspberries, which are always overgrown and intrude into the path, which makes it quite difficult to get down to the end of where our house is, which is the infamous composting bins. This one has 1-year-old poo in it. This one has fresh poo in it. There's garden and kitchen waste. And in the overgrown and rather messy pallet bays, that's the combination of both once they've sat for a bit in their bins. You can see the stained glass window from the back of the house here. At the back here we've basically just got raspberries, rhubarb and squash, stuff that doesn't need too much protection from the harsh weather. The wind that whips across from the west here can be quite severe. 60 mile an hour gusts are pretty easy to get up to, which is great for our wind turbine, not that it's doing anything today. This is one of our rainwater collection filters that takes out the seeds and large bits that get blown in from the field.
We just ride round on the farm.
Okay then. You ride around on the tractor. I'm going to chop down a few raspberries. Okay?
The wonderful thing about the summer is it's great for drying our washing. Keeps our house from getting too humid, which in the winter, whilst things dry swiftly with the log burner on, it does constantly add condensation to our windows and generally makes it humid. Jobs like cutting the grass have been left for a long time as the baby and other things call more urgently upon us. So inside, we at long last have our cupboard doors. A long time in the waiting, in the coming. Our log burner hasn't yet been lit, but I think it will be this week. So we'll have to remove the onions and garlic hanging, drying next to it. The candle from on top that's only there in the summer. You can see the small drawers at the bottom where a plinth would normally be in the kitchen, but we want to use every bit of space. And there's some more cupboard doors there. The washing up view, of course, is amazing. There's some out of control willow spewing out from behind the house. Our shower is always a dumping ground for anything that might be wet. A mix of baby bath and dirty washing and nappies in the green bin waiting to be washed. After a few days of, or even maybe 4 days after a lot of wee and poo and nappies sitting there, it's pretty stinky. And here's the legendary composting toilet still serving us well. Still pretty smell free. There's some more cupboard doors at the top there. Just put the ladder up so that I can show you our ascent and descent to the bedroom. It's pretty unnerving when you're sleep deprived. You up and down this ladder. We carry our newborn baby. But fortunately, we've managed to keep our children safe thus far. But it is the main point of anxiety in our house is the ladder above the log burner. This is our bedroom. Half made after last night, or made and then destroyed by Thea usually. You can't really see, but our stained glass window, see, here we go, our stained glass window at the end there, it's a lovely thing Candice made for us, and in the hot summer it's amazing that it opens. So our child gate here, we haven't yet had to use with Florrie, but as soon as she's found her legs, we'll be needing to use it. And the door on this side, when we're wanting to keep the bedroom warm in the winter, or to keep the noise out when the kids are upstairs and we're trying to enjoy a moment's peace downstairs before we go to bed. What I can't show you today, but Thea particularly enjoys, is our bath. It's a Sunday. Often Thea on a Sunday will have a bath, and she will stay in almost indefinitely. I have to wake her out after about an hour and a half in time for dinner. But yeah, she'll love to lie in the bath or play in the bath, overlooking the view for hours on end. So as a result, particularly because of Florrie now, we don't really get to enjoy our bath, but Thea loves it. So I think that's about it. Gives you a flavour of our life here. Thea, do you like living here? Thea? I think she's a bit camera shy.